We are joined by the Blocked Content, sporting content creator and infamous self-waterboarder. How's that intro?
Yeah, no, I think that's accurate. I think that's probably the best way to describe me. In recent times, I have taken fandom and passion into beyond the Geneva Convention.
Well, there is the Dragon supporter who used to shout at the camera after every game, and then there's now you, the Broncos supporter, who waterboards themselves when they lose to the Dragons.
Look, I think in all the circumstances, it was appropriate. When you lose to a team that hasn't won for 15 games and then snaps an 11-game in-season losing streak, I think you've just got to show the players how much it means to you, because it doesn't seem to mean as much to them. I took to the floor of the shower. I don't recommend it. I don't think that there's any body out there, person or legal body, that would recommend it.
No.
But sometimes drastic losses, you've got to take yourself to drastic measures.
And on Saturday night, Broncos donned the black jersey for the second time up against the Titans for Queensland Day, the greatest of holidays that we're all celebrating this year.
Of course, it was a Saturday beyond compare. The Chrome Broncos out there this year reflecting on their achievements last year with the black jersey, and a failing, as the jersey was a poor copy of the game that they played, was a poor copy of the version that they played last year.
Wasn't it? And it started so strong. I was kind of just arriving home from the Cowboys game as it all started, and I saw Jesse Arthurs nearly score a try off a great pass from Reece Walsh.
Yeah, well, I think some credit does go to the Titans for playing well. Jaden Campbell scores a try out of two offloads, Khalees Haas and AJ Brimson, and then scores a pretty devastating individual try, running at Payne Haas and Tony Staggs, which I think is brave enough measure in itself, that if you can come away with a try, then I think you deserve congratulations for it.
Otherwise, you kind of look at the game, and despite going down to the Titans, who are at the bottom of the ladder or roundabouts, I kind of walked away a little happier after watching that one than I had in the previous few weeks. I thought it was the apathy setting in, but then I did have a listen to what you had to say after the game, and it kind of sounded similar.
Yeah, I did feel maybe it was just, you can't underestimate the Titans at Suncorp. They have a very good record at Suncorp, and you just can't underestimate a Queensland team on Queensland Day. It's the holiday that we all celebrate and know.
It is.
Well, the 6th of May, the day that we seceded from New South Wales. So it is. I respect it for that much. That's something that I thank our forefathers for.
It is a Slater-esque holiday. That is for certain. We can move on to Cowboys Dolphins now. I was at this game. It was my son's first game of rugby league football there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, and being from Brisbane, our hearts always yearn for a length of the field Cobbo try delivered so early.
There's nothing better than seeing a full-speed Selwyn. He can just stride across 100 yards better, and his gait is incredible. When he hits top speed, it looks like he's not even running. He's just he's just traversing. The step length is what really I enjoy watching him just get away.
He spent a lot of time looking back at the person he was ready to fend as he was running down the sideline as well. It was
almost brave. It was like, do you want to keep up with me? Do you want to have a run, or am I just a class above here?
Yeah, and it was kind of the whole story of the night. And what I've been saying about the Dolphins all year is they're the smoothest, fastest backline in the competition when it's a dry track at the moment. They look so fast, and I think that was proven true when I saw them in real life.
They must be fit too. The amount of tries that they're scoring in the last 20 minutes, like this Cowboys game was a game until about the 60th minute, and then they just went try after try, and suddenly a game that looked pretty locked up and a battle is now a blowout, and they've done that multiple times this season.
From there, I'd love to know your thoughts on the seasons of the Cowboys and the Dolphins thus far, and where you see them going toward the back end.
I think this is the Dolphins' year to make the finals. They have the talent, They have the form, they just need the health. And last year they kind of fell apart in that, Herbie got injured and then everything just kind of fell away. But they've had really good seasons out of Herbie. They've, Hammer's playing well. Cobbo has returned to form. And then they've got their very consistent performers like Max Plath and his name escapes me. Oh my goodness. Kurt Donahue as well. Just week in, week out. Ray Stone's coming off the bench and giving him everything. Like there are a lot of pieces in there that kind of form together to make a very coherent football team.
And it was all held together so far this season by their number 7, Izzy Katoa, who is sitting on the extended bench of the New South Wales Blues for Game 2. I mean, we obviously hope that he doesn't play in Game 2 for the Blues. 1, he could get injured, and 2, he could beat us. That's pretty
It's a
dangerous.
future that I don't want to see just yet. I know that he is the future of New South Wales halves, and I know that he is at some point going to tear out the heart of Queenslanders and stomp on it in the State of Origin arena. But not yet. For now, having a Dolphins relationship and a Queensland relationship with Izzy Katoa it's very comfortable to see someone in a quote unquote Brisbane jersey going out and playing well. That's enough for me. We're starting to get into complicated feelings once they start wearing sky blue.
And a few more changes there for the Blues. Casey McLean earned himself a spot on the starting squad for Game 2 there. We see another big change in Haumole Olakau'atu moving to the extended bench as well. Payne Haas obviously coming in. Do we feel good about who we're versing in Game 2? Do we feel that they're stronger or weaker than Game 1?
I don't understand the Haumole Olakau'atu move. He was every time he touched the ball in Game 1, it was a sense of panic hit me, and it hit the Queensland backline as well, because if he can isolate on his center, it's over. Like, he is just so strong and so quick on his feet. He's always got the offload, and in Origin, especially like one-on-one matchups can happen more often in Origin because you've just got elite players across the park. Him being able to get that offload away just unlocks that, the second phase play that can really just tear apart a team in Origin. And I don't see Dylan Lucas replacing that skill. The Knights are playing well. Dylan Lucas is a pretty handy player, but not a game breaker in the same way that Olakau'atu is. Payne Haas, of course, comes back, and I think that if he had played in Game 1, the excuses that all of us Queenslanders kind of proffered after the first game of, Kalen Ponga being sent off, changing everything. If Payne Haas had been on the field, especially in the second half there, I think we would have looked at a completely different game and a much wider score variance than what we saw.
The other big thing, I guess, Cameron Murray remains on the bench. There was a lot of calls for him to take the 13 and move Yeo into prop. That would have obviously moved Barnett to the bench or off the field. Do you think Murray needs to start, or do you feel that they're doing just fine?
I think moving Yeo to prop was something that Madge did in the series that he coached, and it was very successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his normal position. They like to have him at 13. His combination with Cleary, I understand. The problem is that when Murray came on in Origin 1, the Maroons stopped scoring.
Yeah.
And he is an excellent defensive player. He's a very good footballer. Maybe having him coming off the bench and being able to fill more positions than just putting him in at lock and kind of going set and forget is a strategy that might be successful for New South Wales, as much as that pains me to say.
And we've finally decided on the Queensland side that Reuben Cotter is in fact a player that should be in the middle of the field. And not just from the 50th minute onwards, he's playing as our starting lock.
Yeah, look, Reuben Cotter is such a Billy Slater guy, and Billy loves to move his guys around. He loves to put Cotter in different positions. 13 is his best position, but we've seen Cotter at 8. We've seen him on the edge. At this point, if Cotter's in the team, he could play fullback in Game 3 if Billy so desires. But I think that 13 is his best position. I do think Plath didn't do anything to get himself dropped to the bench in Game 1. I thought he was a pretty consistent performer. But the one that there's always a Billy Slater selection that makes you kind of scratch your head a bit. And Britton Nikora, when he came on for the second half in Game 1, he did miss a few tackles and he kind of overplayed a few efforts, and he wasted a challenge, which he was very confident about.
He was.
And he's rewarded for that with a starting spot.
Yeah, and it does feel weird. I mean, I understand that he wasn't allowed to play Origin up until this year because of the eligibility changes.
Yes.
But he deserved it so much more before 2026 that it feels like he almost got the spot based on what he's done in years prior and not based on his performance on the Sharks this year.
Very much a 2024-based selection for a guy who was ineligible at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel sorry for guys like Helam Lukey, who's been having an excellent season. Finay Fuiaki is closer to playing in this game than last, but I feel like Finay Fuiaki has especially been outperforming Nikora.
And I think the last thing to talk about there is just, the glue of the Queensland team. Trent Liero retains his spot on the bench. We're very happy to see Storm Liero playing once again for the Queensland Maroons.
Well, yes, he doesn't do anything, and he's not very good, but he plays for the Storm, so he gets a spot.
Enjoy that spot, Trent.
And if he plays well, then we always backed him. I am the blocked content on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook if you are a boomer, and YouTube if you're part of a very small audience that I just cannot find the energy to grow.